Hi traders, welcome to Profiling to Profit, the week ahead in futures. It is September 11th, 2016. I'm getting this video out a little late. It's after the Globex session open. I wanted to see how we opened up after that nice Friday sell-off, which we had over 1% in sell-off, which is my first time in a long time actually. But I think that changes the dynamics of things. We're going to take a look at some of that going forward. We have some nice zones set up coming up into the week, and we feel that we could start seeing the rollover and a lot more volatility. So let's take a look here, starting with the calendars. Here in the United States, we don't have a ton going on. However, guys, you need to pay attention. It is quadruple witching week. Now, for those of you who are new, quadruple witching just means one thing. It means that the stock indexes, the index options, and the stock options are all expiring this week. Happens 4 times a year, and happens to be this coming Friday. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means a few different things. It means that there'll be a lot of adjusting, rolling in and out of positions. Obviously, we're going to be rolling into a new contract here in the future side of things, but also what we do is we also see a lot of rally into the Friday from last Friday or today. Now, will we get that? That doesn't mean it's going to, but what we always say, it's the low before the week before the quadruple witching. Now, will that happen this week? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see after Friday's sell-off. Hard to tell. So not a lot going on. We do have some Fed speaking on Monday, 3 of them actually. And then we have EIA petroleum report on Wednesday, which, well, it should be interesting. Of course, just the regular news. Let me see. We have business inventories, nothing really big on Thursday. And then Friday, our CPI number, and of course, quadruple witching day. So around the world, there is some interesting news out. Let's take a look at the red days. We have CPI over in Great Britain. You know, Mario Draghi's gonna speak. What day is that now? Is that Tuesday? That is Tuesday. Mario Draghi's going to speak. So that, you know, the euro's been chopping. We're going to look at the euro today, but you know, we don't know what the heck that guy's going to say. It's crazy when he talks. So just keep an eye on that if you're a euro trader. New Zealand's got their GDP out this week. Australia's got an employment number coming out, along with the Swiss National Bank has an interest rate decision. And I think we see a couple more interest rates. Yep, the Bank of England has an interest rate decision as well. Those all fall on Thursday. And of course, retail sales in the U.S., followed by, well, CPI in the U.S. on Friday. So lots going on around the world. So if you're a Forex trader, or for that matter, any other type of trader, you need to keep an eye on these numbers going forward. All right, let's get into the markets here. Friday took just a good old-fashioned dump, and that's just, I don't know how else to say it. We broke down that 47.49 area. Now we've been short up in here for about over a week now, and obviously it paid off nicely. It came into this zone that we've been looking and waiting for. We've had this zone marked for quite some time, but I want to show you something. I'm going to take the color out of this. Now it blew through this zone. This is not an area we're interested in getting long in. We watched it very closely, but the sell-off was just way too hard on Friday. Other assets were selling off as well. Oil was selling off, gold was selling off, and the indexes were selling off. Well, and also bonds were selling off. So there was a lot being sold off. It was just a good old-fashioned profit taking. How far will this go? We think it goes further than this this sell-off right here. However, we're going to watch a bounce up into the 47.37 area and on up into the 47.66 area. That is our risk zone right there. We think we can get short back up into this zone. If you're not short already, I wouldn't chase it down here. Wait till you get back up in here, get a trigger, and then we'll look for the 45.78 down into the 45.53 area as another target. If you're short right now, I tighten those stops up a little bit and see if we can't get any more follow through on this. But this is a very nice trade. We've been waiting for this for quite some time. After this sideways action, sideways action. You can see here we started going a little bit wider with our days and weeks, and then finally we rolled over on the deal. So same thing as in the ES for you ES traders. Sold off hard. Then the Russell did the same thing as well. Now this went through the zone here as well, just blew all the way through and closed below it. There's just, yeah, at this point we're not getting long in this thing. We're going to look for another short opportunity in the ES, which would be, again, the zone on that would be the 21.31 up into the 21.44. That's a nice zone, risk above it. If it gets back into this sideways action above the 41.51, we could take another shot at 21.91, but we think that it's time to sell some assets here, and then they're going to roll it over. Look at a target at 20.92 if you're already short. If not, you can get back short up in here. Look for that target if it's not already hit. Russell, I don't have any targets set up in the Russell or any zones, but you know, the same thing is in the Russell. If you're a Russell trader, I apologize, I don't have any zones set up for you in here, but this is one of those things. We thought the Russell was just outpacing both the indexes, and it, you know, it was one of those things. The indexes weren't really making new highs, and if they were barely making them, and this thing kept making new highs, and then obviously a gap down and a rollover at that time. All right, so let's move on here. Crude oil. At this time, crude is still, you know, sort of ping-ponging back and forth. You know, we just not a lot going on this week. It's been some up and down. Again, on Friday we sold off a little bit. And just FYI, as I always say, these little profiles are 1 week profiles with 2-hour candles. Obviously we have a larger profile over here on the right hand side, but we're still ping-ponging here. We're right in the middle of the junk. If we go back and pull this out a little bit and take a look at what this looks like here, we're in between this back and forth stuff, and this will break, and when it does, you know, it could be a very nice break and a nice long run in here. We're just not really sure what direction. We have to say we favor to the upside. That 51.34 is an opportunity. They still got to clean some stuff up here, so that may be an opportunity, but until this one of these areas break down below here, up above, for us there's a lot of nothing going on in here, just chop and slop. Let's go over to gold right now. Again, gold also sold off on Friday. Actually, pretty much sold off the whole week. Had a nice rally and then rolled over middle of the week. Again, we're sort of in this middle of this chop as well. We were short into this thing. We got stopped out. We're flat now at gold. At this time, we're not sure where gold is going. We thought it would go down and hit the second target. We're still watching this zone down here. We think this is an important zone if it gets down here, but we don't know. It's a coin flip at this time. We're back in the middle of the range. You can see I have the two areas right here, the red and the yellow. This is pretty much the center of the range, and we just got to be really, really careful in here because it's a coin flip. So we could go out, take out the top up here, this 1375, or we could roll over then again and go down into the zone here. But at this time we're flat. We're watching. We're going to see how it reacts this week. See if Mario can make this thing move a little bit, or maybe some Fed talk. So, and I think that's what it's going to need at this point. So really nothing going on in gold since we were taken out of the trade. The euro, Mario Draghi is speaking this week. The euro is going to be probably doing the same as it is right now, which is a lot of nothing. Going a lot of, it's just sideways right in the middle of this big profile right here and a lot of volume. It's really hard to trade in this situation unless you're a scalper or a day trader, making moves back to the mean, basically a return to the mean type of situation, or return to the volume areas. You know, the larger profile as a POC up here at 113.29. You know, for this to get legs, it's got to get above that and hold above that. But again, this has just been back and forth, and it's being dictated by anything that the central bankers say. And when you try to trade around what the central bankers are saying, it's very, very difficult. Again, we talked about this, I think it was 2 weeks ago. We made this low back in March of 2015, and this thing has just been ping-ponging back and forth. It's getting a little bit tighter in here, so we expect to move sometime soon. but will we go back up, test these nice volumes up here, take out and fill in this area that needs to be filled in right here with thin trading, or will they continue this thing down? Again, crystal ball is broken. We're just going to watch price action. We're going to watch the profile, see if it can give us some clues on this deal. All right, let's move on. The notes are looking really good for us right now. If I can get the notes in here. How come I can't get the notes in here? Oh, interesting. There it is. All right, the notes. Notes came back again and tested the breakdown zone that we got short off of. We're still good in this trade. Now we're looking really good at our second target around that 129.28 area. We blew through that previous week's low and we closed below it. Pretty bullish at this point. I like this opportunity. I think we're going to get down and hit our second target. Again, control your stops. If you're short in here, congratulations. Make sure you're taking some off at least, and then trail that stop down. Now, if you're not short in here and you didn't get short on the next pullback, then I would say just sit on the sidelines, and we'll have to watch some new areas in here. We're getting down to our second target, and that's not a place to be initiating the short. Now, if this thing blows through this and continues to go, well, then we can look for pullbacks at that point. Same thing in the bonds. Bonds are breaking down very nicely. They went back and tested. They went back and kissed that area that it broke down on, actually twice again, like the notes did. And this one, they probably stopped a few people out on that little poke, and then of course they rolled it off very, very hard. They're getting down in this high volume area, so I would assume a test just below these lows here, and then we'll see if they bounce it just a little bit there. All right, grains are doing a lot of well, I can't say a lot of nothing, but the grains are doing, well, a lot of nothing. Let's take a soybeans here. Soybeans made a quick low down here at $9.37 and then bounced from that. We closed above. This was our buy our buy zone from much earlier. Obviously that's not a buy zone anymore for us, but that was a buy zone that we had, and of course the market blew right through that. And you could have, if you're depending on what kind of trigger you had, you could have taken a small stop on that, or if you had a different type of trigger, you may not even been triggered into the trade. But we're back above that now. These were our targets up here. These are no longer valid because we're not in a trade to the long side on beans. However, if corn has anything to do with it, beans may find some legs and try to test these highs up here. I don't have a zone right here, guys. This could go sideways. We're starting to get into the harvest season. We're at the very early stages of it, and harvest will be going on into November time frame, depending on where you are in the United States. So when we start getting numbers out of harvest, we could see bounces, we could see further sell-off depending on what those numbers are. So right now it's again a coin flip. We're not interested in coin flips, so we'll wait for a better signal here. Corn, on the other hand, did get a very nice bounce. Again, it did not give us a signal. It blew through. Unlike soybeans, there would have been no chance to get involved in this trade. Just because it blew through the zone, it wouldn't have triggered the trade into it. It came down, took out stops pretty hard, really put the squeeze on some people down here, and then rebounded very nicely. But again, we're back in this chop and slop in here. We're just, back in this high volume area. As we said before, we'd like to see this take out $3.45. Before we think it has some more real serious upside, maybe into this POC at $3.68. But again, we're in the middle of, well, not in the middle of, we're just getting ready to start the harvest season, or at the early stages of it. So we're gonna sit on the sidelines on this until we get a better opportunity, probably closer to that middle to end of October period. Then we may have some good idea what the yields are on those grains. So anyway, all right, I think that's it for this week. It is going to be again fun week in the markets. We think that volatility is starting to creep back in. Obviously from Friday's trade, it looks like there is opportunity there. Guys, going into the end of the year, people are going to be looking for good opportunities either to sell their profits and book them, or they're going to look to buy more. At this time, we think they're going to start booking profits. Also, if you guys need help, get on over to Market Profile Trading Academy. We have all kinds of free resources under the free resources tab. Also, if you are a developing trader, there is a 3-session quick launch workshop here you can take a look at what's all involved. It's a phenomenal workshop. Josh, Matt, and myself will be part of this thing, and I'm here to tell you, you will walk out of there very well educated with a great opportunity to learn how to trade the profile, how it can fit into your trade style, and also walk out of there with a good blueprint on what your parameters are, how to trade it, and how to execute the trade and manage your risk on that. Other than that, guys, hey, again, watch your news, watch the risk zones in there, and then, of course, if you have any questions, drop us a note. You can go back to the website, hit the contact button, drop us a note, your name, email, phone number, and the reason you want to contact us with the message. We'll get right back to you. Otherwise, have a great trading week, and we will talk to you later. Take care.